Hello, hello. I apologize for the hour-long delay. I don't know if anybody is still here. Let's see. Alex C is here. Says there's 20. How many people are here? I'm not sure. You fell asleep. No. Hello, everybody. Unfortunately, we had a bit of an incident. I don't know if you guys were watching live on the show, but on my dad's live, but something strange is happening. So I don't know if you were watching live on my dad's stream, but during the stream, I got two calls from my dad. I don't know if you saw it, but I held my phone up and I was like, "You're calling me, ha ha ha." And he at first he was like, "Oh, weird," and we thought he'd be butt dialing me, but then he turned his phone off, and I was still getting calls from his number, which was very strange. Anyways, we finished the show. At the end, me and my dad just chat for a second about how the show went, and while we're chatting, someone started banging on my parents' door, loudly, and they said, "Was that someone knocking at her door?" And they got up, and apparently there was a man standing outside their door demanding to get inside, or demanding that they open their door. And he was carrying a CVS bag and was saying, "Open your door." Thankfully, my parents didn't, under my mom's advice, thank God. But apparently he wasn't leaving, and he was banging on the door, and he was standing outside their house. So, and then the strange thing too is that my dad got a call and a text from Domino's Pizza saying, "Your order's outside, open the door now, or we'll never deliver to you again," etc. Like something that Domino's Pizza obviously would never do. So my parents. So the reason why I wasn't on the live, because I was staying on the phone with them while just to make sure everything was okay while it was happening. So they got this weird call and text from Domino's saying, "Open your door." Like, and obviously my parents didn't order anything. And the guy standing at the door had a CVS bag. And then they got a call and a text from Domino's saying, "Open your door," right? Which is something that Domino's would never do. My parents, I don't think have ever ordered for Domino's in their life. But they ended up calling the police, and the police came and they searched around and they took the report in. So, and the guy seems to be gone. So, that's good. It was just a scary situation, and yeah, that's why at first I thought, that's why I was like, "Give me a second," because at first my parents were like, "Weird, there's someone at our door," and it's it's East Coast, it's 11 o'clock at night there, so they were a little. Just the fact that someone was knocking at their door at 11 o'clock at night was very strange. And then obviously it got dangerous. So that's what took me so long. I just wanted to come back on and tell people what happened, just to know. And also I just wanted to say, if you see anybody sharing my number or my dad's number or any of our addresses, please delete the post if you see it, if you can, or report the post, because obviously our numbers are getting around. A couple weeks ago, we had people texting me and my dad saying, "Your numbers are going around," and we weren't sure, and your numbers and address are going around. So we weren't sure if that was real or if someone was trying to scare us or what's going on. But yeah, something very strange is happening. And I just want to, most people who come to my live are pretty loyal members. So I just want to say, if you see anybody sharing our address, our numbers, please report them. That would be great. It just got. At first, I thought I was joking around about it. I was like, "Dad, why are you calling me?" And then it got strange after his phone was off, and he was still calling me somehow. And then we had both gotten a call a little bit before that from the same number, and then after that, I got a call from a number that was C, as in the letter C, dot Lichtman. So I don't know. You should change your phone numbers. Yeah, I guess maybe we'll have to do that and use VPN services. Yeah, I guess as we grow, the more the chances of something like this happening. But the guy seemed to leave my dad's house, so that's good. Scary situation, but yeah, I just want to come on and explain what happened. I think maybe my dad's going to try to go to T-Mobile tomorrow and see what can be done. Because it's very strange, because also when my dad was trying to call 911, he couldn't get through. It was really strange. So when my parents were like, all right, this is a serious situation, we need to call 911, he tried calling 911 and he couldn't get through. And then my mom tried from her phone and she got through instantly. The typical 911. Immediately, like, they picked up and was like, what's the address of your emergency? So I don't know what is going on with, maybe his phone was hacked, or maybe someone has some sort of system where they're able to call people from anybody's number. I don't know. But again, if that was the case, why was he not able to reach out to 911? Why was that being blocked? But strange and scary, and but everything's okay. My parents are safe. Again, the man who was banging on their door seemed to have left, and the police now made a report. And I heard them. I was on the phone the whole time. I heard them explain, my dad is this guy, et cetera, et cetera. So maybe they'll just keep an eye out on their address and stuff. But that's why I was late. And again, if you see anybody out there sharing numbers or addresses, report them immediately. And I guess maybe we'll have to figure out how to either change our numbers or wipe our information from the web. But Alex, he says, next time let us know, we'll go kick some ass. Well, I wasn't exactly sure what was happening when I was typing in the chat, like, give me a second. That was happening as I was chatting. This was all happening as I was learning what was happening. I just stayed on the team chat with my dad as it was unfolding. And, if people want to keep chatting, I'm willing to chat. It was a good live stream, aside from the creepiness of what happened. It's easy to fake a phone number, but like, it's easy so like, if I wanted to call you from, your cousin's phone number, as long as they had their phone number, I could do that. Is that the case? Easy. Okay. Well, I guess that's what happened. But again, it's strange that he couldn't get through to 911. That was very strange too. Anyways, if anybody has any tips or tricks, I know most people are saying, change your numbers, obviously. But anyways, I'll chat if people want. Do people want to chat? I'm willing to chat. T-Mobile has been hacked a few times this year. Yeah, that is true. Lock your doors, of course. Install cameras at the house. Yeah, good ideas. Sorry, man. No, it's fine. Again, everybody's safe. Everybody's okay. I think my parents are most scared. They're at their house after that happened. I'm fine, obviously, but I'm down to chat. I don't think I'll stay on for like super long because it's already late here, and I still need to take my dog for a walk and all that jazz. But I think, I hope they're mentally okay. They're a little shaken up, but I think they're okay. I think at the end they're okay. Please allow your dad to give long answers on stream. That's where he shines the most. I hear you. I want to do that too, but it's like, he only is willing to give so much time, right? And I'm trying to maximize the time he has. And people who've paid and members, I want to try to get as many questions in as possible. So that's why sometimes I ask him to go quickly. But I think for the most part, he gives pretty in-depth answers. Does your father have any long form lectures online? No, he doesn't. I think he's done deals with like the Learning Company or something in the past, but I think you have to buy the DVDs to get those. I mean, that's kind of what we're trying to replicate here on YouTube in a sense, but yeah, I guess they're not formal lectures. So is it highly unlikely that there would be a repeat of 2000 election? Dudley, I think he answered that question, don't you think? Do you think your dad would be open to doing a college tour? Yeah, I think he would maybe be open to that, especially if the channel keeps growing as it is. Dr. Ash says, my colleague who, like your dad, our professors are getting hacked despite their authentication apps and having financial information stolen from them. This was today. That's not good. Now you're scaring me. My mom says it was the teaching company and the course was called The Great Presidents. So if you want to check that out, go for it. I guess, I don't know how that exists now in DVD form or online. I'm not sure, but it's the teaching company. It's called The Great Presidents. Get a disposable phone so he can have a second phone in case if this happens again. Okay. What do you do with the questions we wrote in that you asked for? I don't understand the question. Does you and your dad watch anime? My dad certainly doesn't. I'm not super huge into anime. I've seen some. I like Naruto. I like Miyazaki films, but I'm not like super duper into it. How old am I? It's like, I think I'm going to try to dial down the personal information I give out, so I won't be giving my age out, unfortunately. My mom's in the chat, so Jogo says check up on your parents again. My mom's in the chat, and I told her, call me if they need anything. I'll just pause the live or mute the live, so I think they're okay. Susie K says, I am still worried. Hope everything's okay. Everything's okay. And, we're putting this out there because it's like, we're okay. It's not a big deal. I mean, it is a big deal, but we're okay. And I just, the more we put out there, that's like, look, we're going to wipe our information. We're not going to let people intimidate us, et cetera, et cetera. What will the celebration be when Kamala wins and your dad proves all the haters wrong? If my dad gets this one right, I think he's already a kind of a living legend, but if he gets this one right, I think he cements himself forever as a living legend for sure. TMS says, I really enjoyed the Cuomo interviews, and I don't like Cuomo. Yeah, my dad does Cuomo all the time. Thank you, Dr. Ash, for becoming a member. Oh yeah, I have memberships and donations available. You don't have to donate. Memberships would be cool. Cat Mama and Joss Callaton became members, so thank you guys. There's a chat summary. Did I do that? Do people see that? It says there's an AI chat summary. That's weird. Did my dad ever meet Ross Perot? I have no idea. Your dad said that he has adjusted his keys to better reflect the Electoral College instead of the popular following 2000 result. What kind of adjustments did he make? I'm not sure, actually. What kind of dog do you have? I have a Labradoodle. Please tell your parents you all send them condolences for what happened. Thank you. My mom's in the chat, Karen Strickler. She says, everything is okay at the moment. Thank you all for your support. I got a notice on YouTube that you wanted questions and to write them in for... Yeah, so for member questions, essentially what we're doing is I'm posting on the community tab for members only. I'm posting, hey, put your questions for tonight's shows here. And then our mods go into that and glean from that instead of having to keep up with the chat and gleaning questions from that. So it's just an easier way for us to organize it. Should I make microwave popcorn or deep fry some French fries? I'm hungry at night. What kind of oil are you going to use for the French fries? If you use olive oil or avocado oil, I'd say French fries. If not, I would go with popcorn. It's healthier. What's my go-to late night snack? I have a sweet tooth, so I usually do like not healthy stuff for late night snacks, like cookies, brownies, ice cream. Although I don't really do dairy, so I try to get vegan options. Wow, G1 sent me $20. You guys really don't have to donate on this channel. I'm serious. You know, you guys give enough of your time and energy to my dad's channel. You know, I appreciate all the donations, obviously. Thank you, G1. Thoughts on Walz and horses? So there's a rumor that something with Walz and horse semen or something. I don't know. I don't know if that's just like the right wing starting something because it left. I posted a video, a parody video on the JD Vance couch stuff. So if you check out my videos tab, that video's there. I'd be interested to see what you guys think about that. If the keys are incorrect, it would be the first time since 1888, and that was an election where the popular vote winner lost the Electoral College. That's the only way Trump can actually win. You are correct, sir. There's only chances through the Electoral College, in my mind, obviously. If Bacon ran against Trump, Bacon would win because Bacon makes everything better, and Abraham Lincoln even loved bacon. Okay. That's okay. You don't need a membership for this channel, Sid the Shuckle. If you want to get one and support the channel, I much appreciate that, but you don't need one. Brennan says, I think it's highly unlikely that the election will be overturned. I've been following this guy called Mark Elias, and he's already on the case. Given his track record of winning cases, I'm confident. I hear you. Yeah, I think the Democrats they're not going to play this one safe, and they're not going to just roll over and let, Republicans steal it. I do have hope for that, too. It's a new feature on YouTube chat summary, AI summary of love sheet. Yeah, but it went away, too. It was here, but then it went away, and I've never seen it before, so I don't know. Will you take up your dad's job when he retires? I don't have any background in history or political science, so I don't think so. Sam loves bananas. How did you know that? I do love bananas. What's the psychology behind late night cravings? You're asking me? I don't know. I asked Dr. Ash. He probably knows. Don't say no to donations, Sam. It's a scarcity mentality. We're happy to help you out. Well, all right. Thank you. Sometimes I feel bad, like people giving their hard-earned cash, but I don't know. If I want to make this if I want to put more time and energy into my channel, my dad's channel, obviously I need to make more money. So that's that. Do you have plans for the channel after the election? Yeah, I think we want to keep it going after the election. I think as long as we're doing good numbers, my dad will still be interested in doing it. So it depends on that. It's 11:20 and I'm making sweet potato fries with breakfast sausage in the air fryer. That sounds pretty good. Favorite comfort food? Oh, that's a good one. Pizza. I love pizza, although I don't eat it very much anymore because I don't do dairy. But if I can find a good vegan pizza, there's a couple of good vegan pizza places in LA. I found 2 that are pretty damn good. Do you think we can get rid of the Electoral College, and what does your dad think? I don't think we can get rid of the Electoral College. I think maybe we can have split voting within states, like what Nebraska and Maine do, but I think the conservative states are not going to push that, and it's going to take a long time, if ever, for that to really come into question. But I don't think there's any chance the Electoral College is going anywhere. Can Trump abolish the Constitution in 4 years if he wins? I have no idea. I have no clue. If Sam isn't successor to the keys, then who will be? That's a good question. It's something I've thought more and more about too, but I don't know. I don't have an answer to that right now. I don't know if you have to understand that my dad's knowledge about history and presidents and elections is like, he probably started studying this at 18. It's like, 60 years in the making. Even if I started now, I would be, 15 years behind him. And I've already went to college and I've already done grad school. You know what I mean? So I kind of think it's too late for me. You know, I don't know. Squirrely Squirrel, thank you for your donation. Most swing states have Democratic governors, so they wouldn't be able to stop election deniers. I mean, Georgia doesn't. Arizona does. I think Nevada does. Michigan does. Pennsylvania does. Yeah, that's a good point. Dr. Ash says psychology behind late night cravings can be a combination of things. 1, high blood sugar. 2, imbalance of gut bacteria. And 3, stress. See, I told you Dr. Ash could answer that. U.S. politics is way too biased in favor of superstar candidates. Reagan was a much better candidate than president. On the other hand, Biden is a much better president candidate. It's frustrating. I totally agree with that. And that's why when people bring up the ideas of like The Rock running for president or something, makes me want to gag because it just reinforces that idea of these superstar candidates running our country, which is a nightmare. Did your dad do keys for other elections in other countries? He does not. What's the biggest fear about this election? My biggest fear is swing states and the Electoral College. That's my biggest fear, is that, couple 10,000 votes here and there in a couple states can really swing this election. And that's a little scary. Have you been to Kenneth Hand Park? It's south of Culver City. It's awesome. No, I'll check it out. Kenneth Hand Park, okay. Takes a very, very long time to acquire his knowledge. Exactly. And it's like, I feel like I would have to go back to school to acquire that kind of knowledge. Or like, I don't even know what I would have to do. What would be the alternative to going back to school? Some sort of apprenticeship with him? I don't know. I mean, I have a full-time job plus this YouTube stuff. It's like, when would I even have time to do that? Sam, where do you land on the left scale from center left to progressive? I don't know. I would say, I don't know. I'm not sure. I really try to go on a issue by issue basis. Probably most of my friends would say, "Oh, Sam's super far left," but I don't actually think I am. So I don't know. You still involved in any filmmaking? Nothing major right now. I still do some in my spare time, do some work on some sets and stuff, but nothing major. Again, I have a full-time job and I now running 2 YouTube channels plus social media channels. So I plus now Discords and Reddits, and it's like, I don't really have a lot of time. There are apps that allow you to look like you're coming from a certain person. I would use a Google number or some other number. Yeah, the police also mentioned the Google number. That's something I think we'll look into. Nevada is a Republican governor. Okay, my bad. Ruben Martinez says, "Hey, I'm good live tonight. Sorry to hear about the post-stream incidents." All good. Everybody's good. Just a reminder, if you see our numbers or addresses being posted online, report it. Report the person. Let's try to wipe that ish out. Was I disappointed she didn't pick Shapiro? Not really. I think if you've seen my other lives, I said I don't really care who she picks. I don't think vice president really matters. I like Tim Walz as a person so far. He seems like an interesting guy, so no problem with it. I think the election will come down to Pennsylvania. That's the more important swing state in my view. Yeah, no doubt. You should be a YouTuber. You're a goat. Well, thank you. I mean, I am trying it. I mean, it takes a lot of time and energy to gain the following to where you can actually sustain yourself just being a YouTuber, but I'm giving it a shot in some sense. You should have your dad take the political compass test. Oh yeah, I've taken that before. I forgot where I ended up, but I wonder if he would take it, or I can see him being like, I don't want to take it, I saw your dad on TV when I was in my 20s. I'm almost 50 now. Of course, he had dark hair, but the same passion. National treasure, in my opinion. Well, thank you for the kind words. He definitely has the passion. Whose idea was it for your dad's live streams? It was mine. I don't think my dad even knew what live streams were before we started doing them. Who should SNL choose to play Tim Walz? I saw that, what's his name? Martin what? Or is it something Martin? Why am I blanking on his name? What's his name, guys? Help me out here. The comedian, banjo player, Steve Martin. Yeah, I heard Steve Martin turned down the role, which kind of sucks because I think he would have been great. I imagine they'll just dress up one of their cast members to look like him. I used to be an SNL super fan. I mean, I used to watch it every single week. But for the last couple of years, I haven't watched it at all, so I don't know who's on there these days. Sam, why is your father's contact in your phone old man? I saw that on your stream. I don't know. It's just a joke between us. That's all. For some reason, I think the reason that Biden was what? Is because it was during COVID and a lot of mail ballots were sent out automatically. I don't know what you're saying. Sorry, Alex. I'm not sure what you're saying. Which is your least favorite Trump talking point? Greatest of all time. I've done more for XYZ community or numbers we've never seen before. I feel like those all pale in comparison to his talking point that, the election is rigged. I mean, that's probably the most dangerous one. Take the compass test right now. Do people want me to do that? I don't know if I want to put myself out there that clearly. Did you ever see your dad's Maryland Senate ad? I saw it when it happened. Yes, I've seen it many times. All of my friends, I think, saw it, and yeah, it was a big deal. Funny, I always thought he should have a YouTube channel rather than see him every election year. Who? My dad? Who? Do you think there's much to the claims that Shapiro wasn't selected as V because he's Jewish? The media was fanning the flames of that. I don't think that was a factor. I have no idea. I mean, we'll never know. I have no idea. It's possible they were not he wasn't picked because he was Jewish, but maybe he wasn't picked because Dems feared that their ticket was too multicultural. I would say maybe that. Yeah. I did go to university. I studied communications and film and media. I don't think I'm going to do the political compass test. I don't really want to put myself out there that clearly. Thoughts on season 2 of House of the Dragon? I thought overall, incredible season. I was a little disappointed with the finale. Actually, maybe I shouldn't say anything because it might be a spoiler. I'll just say this. I was a little disappointed with the finale because I felt like the ending was too open-ended. That's all I'll say. I don't want to give any spoilers. But overall, I think the second season of House of the Dragon was incredible. I mean, up there with, the good seasons of, maybe not quite, but like in the same league as the good seasons of Game of Thrones. What are my thoughts on the issue of Gaza? My thoughts on the issue of Gaza is I hope there is a ceasefire and release of hostages. How does any sane intelligent person watch Donald Trump and say, that's the guy for me? It baffles me that people support this man. I mean, he just, as my dad said today in our show, he just is like a pathological liar. It's nuts. I also find it odd that people are not concerned that this man tried to overturn an election. It's very strange. It's very strange. If Trump wasn't a felon, would he be a better choice than Harris? No. It had nothing to do with him being Jewish, Shapiro. This is from Brennan. I think it had to do with the risk of alienating his supporters to a staunch support of Israel. That's possible. Yeah, that's possible. Who's the better MILF, Kamala or Whitmer? I think my mom's watching, so I'm not going to answer that. Am I watching Umbrella Academy? No, I'm not. I actually had a friend who worked on that, but I haven't seen it yet. I think the next show I want to check out is The Boys. Everybody keeps telling me that The Boys is incredible. Don't you think Kamala's team should use Trump's recording praising Walz as an ad to show support for Walz? Yeah, I do. I agree. 50% of the population supports Trump, mind you. No, that is not true. Less than 50% of the voting population voted for him. There's still, I think the majority of the country does not vote. So that is not true. I mean, that's not true even if we were just looking at the voting population. But if you look at the entire population, I mean, we don't know if they support him or not because they don't vote. Do you think Biden has the benefit of the doubt with Israel? I don't know what you mean by that exactly. Krognar says, I felt like a large part of the hate towards House of the Dragon Season 2 was due to not enough action. GOT was built on politics, not big battles. House of the Dragon doing politics over was a good thing. I agree. I mean, there was plenty of action. I mean, again, I don't know. People, I don't want to spoil it, but I feel like there was action. But I agree that I don't mind the political maneuvering. I thought that was interesting. So, Trump allows people to be their worst self. That's why his base loves him. Maybe so. Do you think the media is on the verge of starting to call out Donald Trump more, or is that false hope? I don't know. The relationship between the media and Donald Trump is so toxic. You know, they kind of rely on each other, but at the same time don't. I don't know. It's hard. I feel like for a long time the media was critical of him, and then they backed off, and then they're also going back and forth on how they deal with him too, which is just kind of nauseating. I haven't watched The Boys because I'm pretty tired of superhero stuff. So that's what I told my roommate, but he said that it's a critique of the superhero stuff. So maybe that'll sway your opinion. The average person is an idiot, and half the people are dumber than that. I don't think people are idiots. That's the thing. I really don't think people are idiots. I think maybe people are like, I don't know. I don't think people are that dumb. Nahiro says, I think in the past several elections, Biden is the only candidate to get more votes than the amount of people who didn't vote. Oh, is that true? I could have sworn I just saw some graphic that showed like the percentage of people not voting, and it was dramatic. But I could be wrong. Are you and your dad ready for this election just to end? It must be stressful. I'm feeling okay. I don't feel that stressed out. I don't know about my dad. I haven't really asked him if he's feeling stressed. Am I ready for this election to be over? I mean, in the sense of I'm just sick of Trump and I just want him to go away. Yeah, I'm ready for that. Do I think Trump will end up in prison if he loses the election? As of now, no, but it depends how he reacts to the outcome of this election. If he keeps doubling down on his election stuff and takes action in accordance, I think he could be in big trouble. And I think people won't put up with his anymore, CNN has gone further right lately, in my opinion, and I don't like that. CNN just has two people who are on total opposite ends of the spectrum, spit their point of view and their propaganda at your face, and then they call it a day. And then it seems to me like most of their on-air personalities are too scared to speak truth to power now. Do you mod Allan's Reddit? The mods there are power tripping. I don't mod his Reddit. I don't mod anything. Well, I guess I mod. I am in contact with the mods of the Reddit. I'm in the mods group for the Discord, but I don't really do anything unless they like tag me and they ask me a specific question. And then obviously when I'm on my dad's stream, I can mod the chat a little bit, but What do you think Biden's legacy will be in 50 to 100 years? What do you think will be his biggest accomplishment and biggest failure? I think he's going to be considered a pretty good president down the road, a very good governing president. I think his biggest accomplishment, I don't know. That's a good question. Biggest failure? Let's see how this situation in Gaza goes. I don't know, but I think he's handled that pretty well. I don't know. I don't have a good answer to that. I have to think about it a little bit more. Do you think if Trump loses in 24, he'll stay on and try again in 2028? No way, dude. He'll be way too old. Do you think Trump's children will ever run for office? Yeah, I think that's more likely than him running again, is that one of his children, either Ivanka or Eric or Don Jr., tries to take up the mantle. Probably mostly Don Jr., seems to me. He's the most sort of MAGA of them. You know what I mean? He will not go away, Trump. I think he will lose and then he will try to run again. I don't think so, man. I don't think so. Thoughts on Pelosi after being one of the key players in getting Biden to drop his re-election bid? I don't know that I feel comfortable with these elites having this type of power. I caught a little bit of an end of her interview on NPR the other day. I thought she sounded pretty good for, how old she is. She seems like, at least vocally, she's expressing very pro-democracy ideas. The whole thing with Biden, I think, is a little bit of a stain on everything, on her, on Biden, on our country. It just was kind of, whether it was the right move or the wrong move, I think it was kind of sickening and kind of despicable in a lot of ways. I don't know. Trump's children don't have the same charisma as him, thankfully. I do agree with that. And I don't see Don Jr. wanting to be like a senator, and I don't really see Ivanka putting herself out there like that. She seems a little bit more of a behind the scenes person, but I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I think that Biden's biggest accomplishment would be the infrastructure bill. That's what I was gonna say, but I feel like I don't know enough about it to say that for sure. That's why I didn't say it. But that's what I was gonna say, actually. All right. Maddie says we should do a poll whether people think Trump's gonna run again. All right, that's a good idea. That's if he loses, obviously. If Trump loses, do you think he will run again in 2028? Let's see what you guys have to say. Does Allan do book signings? He does. I don't know if or when the next ones will be. Biden's biggest accomplishment is defeating Trump. That's an interesting point. I kind of agree with that in a sort of more existential sense. Student loans could be his biggest failure? Nah, come on. I don't think so. What about Laura Trump running for office? Maybe it's possible. How can we cause X to fail? Don't use it. The less people that use it, the less advertisers are on it, the less money they make, I guess. I don't necessarily think X should fail, but I'm so sick of Elon Musk. I'm just so sick of that guy. He sucks so bad. Has Allan ever been on The View? I don't think so. Do you think Kamala will get reelected? We'll see. It depends how she governs. Do you vote in every election? Yes. Biden's biggest failure, why I agree with getting out, would be Afghanistan. That's a tough one, again, because it was the right decision to get out, and it was certainly a failure on how it was handled. So it's a tough one. Again, we're also trying to judge the guy when his term isn't over, and he still has, 5-6 more months that a lot could happen. So, Sam, are you going to be playing Madden anytime soon? Probably not, but I don't own Madden, so probably not. I'm still uneasy about Harris being the nominee instead of Biden. She's not the best politician, and despite Biden's fault, I'd rather be down 4 keys down than 5. I think at the end of the day, it's all about the keys. So the candidate only matters a tiny bit. It shifted the keys a tiny bit, but, it doesn't matter. Do I play Mortal Kombat? I haven't in a long time. What's your justification for voting when you're in a safe blue state? One, local elections. They're not necessarily, even the governorship can turn red in Maryland. I don't know. I think, if you want to be involved or have a say in social or economic or political issues, you gotta put your vote out there. You can't. It's kind of the necessary factor in my mind. It was Trump who signed off on Afghanistan, not Biden, so Trump deserves most of the blame on it. I have heard people saying that. I have to do a little bit more research on it to comment on it because I don't know what the extent of what that means exactly or the details of it, so I don't have a comment on that right now. Try playing Shadow Fight 2. Okay. Do you frequently talk about politics with your dad, or do you spend more time about other things? We talk a lot about politics. We also talk about other things too, but we do talk a lot about politics. Nate says, hello, Sam. I'm worried that Tim Walz doesn't have enough experience with couches to be suitable VP. Thoughts? Check out my video. I posted a video about it last night. So, again, I'd be interested to see your all's thoughts on that video. If you like it, if you want me to do more parody videos like that, etc. Do you like MMA? I'm a huge MMA fan. I've been doing Muay Thai for 3-4 years. I've been boxing for 5-6 years now, maybe. And yeah, always try to catch up on UFC, even though I don't like Dana White personally, but I do like MMA. Who's my favorite fighter of all time or current fighters? My all-time favorite fighter is... I'm a big Israel Adesanya fan, and I'm a big Usman fan. I would say those are my two favorites. What do I think of Joe Rogan? I'm not a fan of Joe Rogan. I think that from the stand-up that I've seen of his, he's not that funny. His podcast is full of misinformation, and I'm not a fan of his. Khabib is the best. Khabib is definitely the best fighter. He's not my personal favorite. I don't dislike Khabib, but I don't know. I find myself, it's hard to root for those Chechen guys. They kind of feel like I'm supposed to root against them as an American. I know that sounds stupid, but you know, I don't know. Who's my favorite celebrity? Martin Scorsese. Washington or Lincoln? I'm a Lincoln guy personally. Washington owned slaves. It's kind of, you know, I don't fuck with that. Favorite Martin Scorsese movie? That's tough. My top three are probably The Departed, Casino, and Goodfellas. Maybe even in that order. Have you played Metal Gear Solid? I have not. How do I think the House and the Senate will go? I'm not sure. I haven't really followed it that closely. Do I think a third party candidate could ever win a general election? Not really. What do I think of Taylor Swift? She's okay. Not. I don't really listen to her much. I think her music is sort of mid, but I think, you know, she's got good songs. She's got bad songs. I'm kind of just like lukewarm on her. Do I read fantasy? Not really. No. Vaylander says Taxi Driver, Goodfellas, Raging Bull. You know, I'm not a fan of Taxi Driver. I don't really like Taxi Driver. Raging Bull I also love. Raging Bull is also one of my favorites. Have you played Red Dead Redemption 2? Oh, that's like my favorite game of all time. I have some Red Dead content on this channel, on my live tab. Did I watch the miniseries Chernobyl? Not yet. I still have to watch that. We talked about that last week, right? Why am I single? I just haven't found the right person yet. I guess that's why. Sammy, you look and sound very tired. I hope you're getting enough rest in case... No, I am getting enough rest. I don't know why I'm low energy today. I'm not sure why. How many languages do I speak? One, unfortunately. I would like to speak more, but I think I've talked about this before. I can't pick which one I want to learn, so that's an issue for me. Oops. I just loosened my mic. I meant to tighten my mic. Let's see. Sam, will you do GTA 6 live streams when that comes out? Oh, absolutely. My favorite is After Hours because it's one I can personally relate to the most. I really like After Hours a lot, and it's one of his that I hadn't seen until later in life. Like I probably saw it for the first time like maybe 2 or 3 years ago, and I really liked it. Although I recommended it to my parents and they hated it, but I really like it. Chernobyl is the prequel to The Boys. That's hilarious. Have you and your dad talked about Project 2025? No, we haven't. We were going to, but then it seemed like, you know, the guy who was running it had stepped down and it sort of lost steam. So, thank you, Joshua D, for the kind words. Would I be open to having an arranged marriage? No, not at all. I mean, I'd be open to being set up with somebody, but I would like to take the typical steps of like dating them, get to know them, moving in, and then deciding if we want to get married. Killers of the Flower Moon is a great movie. I have to rewatch that because when I first watched it, I liked it, but it didn't blow me away. But like when I think back to it, I can't think of anything I didn't like about it, you know? So, I don't know. I kind of want to rewatch it. How I played the Civilization games, man, those were like my favorite games growing up. That and Age of Empires, I used to play those all the time. I haven't played any recently, but Justin Ackerman says, love watching you and your dad doing a show together, seeing you kind of wishes I could have done something like that with my dad. watch you guys twice a week. Well, thank you for the kind words, Justin, and thanks for watching. Krognar says, the best thing to ever happen to me was when I started learning French, was making a handful of friends who speak French. Learned so much faster when I had the true inputs of AI generated stuff. That's my issue, is like I don't have like a specific reason to learn one, and I have an interest in so many, so I don't know. I can fix you up with a Slovakian woman. Are they in Slovakia? Because I'm not going to Slovakia. Oppenheimer was the best film of 2023. I agree with that, actually. I think Oppenheimer was fantastic. Have I ever had a girlfriend? Yes. I have had girlfriends before, yes. I think Flowers of the Moon is good, but not peak Scorsese. Yeah, I think that's kind of how I feel about it. It's like, it was a very good movie, but it's like, he has some classic movies. I don't think it was that level. All right, so what's the poll at? 67% say Trump's not going to run again in 2028. So that pretty much aligns with what I was saying. All right, let me see. So I'm gonna do a poll. What language should I learn? And to be clear, I do know a little bit of Spanish. Mandarin. These are the ones I'm interested in. Mandarin, Japanese, Korean. I can only do 4 options. Damn it. Damn it, I wish I could do more options. See, that's the issue. I got so many freaking options. All right, just put it in the chat. These are the options. Mandarin, Japanese, Korean, Spanish, French, German. Those are the ones I'm most interested in. Cameron, you know that Trump agreed to the ABC debate. You're late on that news, brother. Why don't I like Taxi Driver? It's a little too psychotic and violent for me. All right. Japanese, German, Spanish, French or German. Do I like Vietnamese women? Sure. German, Japanese, Spanish. All right, this isn't helping. It's so... That's why I need a poll, but I don't have enough options. Damn it. All of them? Yeah, I wish. My mom says German for the past, Spanish for the future. My mom speaks a little German, so I think that's why she wants me to learn German. Spanish is a must. Do 2 polls? I don't know if I can do 2 polls at once. All right, let me try that. Sam, you got to learn the language you're going to be able to apply on a daily basis. Yeah, that's I agree with you, Dr. Ash, but I don't know what that is. Hold on, my dog wants to come in. Come on, Walz. Yeah, I want to show you to the people. Here's the puppy. Here he is. Say hi, Keeks. Say hi, Kiko. Say hi, everybody. I'm Kiko. I'm sleepy. I was just taking a nap. He's a good pup. Yeah, you're a good pup. Okay, I'll put you back down. I have to take him for a walk soon, so I might wrap this up at an hour. What language should I learn? Mandarin, Japanese, Korean, Spanish. Okay, let's see if I can do another poll. No, I can't. All right, how about this? If you think it's one of these 4, vote now. If you think it's either one of the other 4, we'll do that poll once this poll rides for a little bit. Get a foreign girlfriend first and learn a language with her and her family. Okay. Do I actually believe in the keys? I think they have some merit, but the idea that Biden does better than Harris is insane. I do believe in the keys. And I think people were sleeping on Joe Biden. I honestly think that. What country do I want to visit? I want to visit a bunch. I want to go. I've already been to Japan. I'd like to go back to Japan. I'd like to go to Korea. I'd like to go to China. I'd like to go to Colombia, South America. I'd like to go to Africa. I'm not sure where. And I'd like to do a trip around Europe. What are the other 4 languages? The other 4 languages are... So what did I already say? I said... Mandarin. So the others would be... I guess just French or German, right? That's all I said. Go to Ghana in Africa. Come to New Zealand. I've been to New Zealand, actually. Don't know if you've been keeping up with Ukraine, but they've been striking and advancing to Russia. It's a huge turnaround from what they thought. Yeah, I have been following that a little bit. I think that's definitely an interesting development for sure. All right, so it seems like Mandarin. I mean, nobody's voted for Korean. So I'm going to do a repoll with Spanish, Japanese, German, French. Okay, let's try that. What language should I learn? Okay. Japanese, Spanish, German, French. All right, here's the real poll. When did I visit New Zealand? When I was like 5 years old, so it's been a while. The Seychelles is the most beautiful place I've ever been. I've heard good things about the Seychelles. I want to go to Australia. Yeah, I do too, actually. Come to New Jersey. We have lots of languages here. I've been to New Jersey many, many times. The Nordic countries would be cool to go to too. I agree. Japanese is a surprisingly easy language to learn. Mandarin is a lot harder. Interesting. Sam, English or Spanish? I don't understand the question. I speak English. That's a good idea, Super Dan. That's a good idea. Linda wants to go to Greece. Can't go wrong there. Hello, Giga. Rogan just endorsed RFK. Can that get him to 10% in the polls? I think it'll definitely spike him, but I don't think it'll be a long term. I don't think long term he'll be at 10%. Let us hear your Spanish. Hola, me llamo Sam. ¿Cómo estás? How was that? Krognar says, when I started learning French, I thought it would be incredibly hard. While it does get hard at times, it eventually becomes natural for me. The hard part is first time learning something new. Yeah. Japanese is easy to speak, but not easy to write. Interesting. Have I ever heard of Tagalog Kurt channel? I have not. I sounded quite Argentinian. That's interesting. My roommate's Argentinian. I love you, Sam, but your Spanish needs more oomph. You're right. What language did I study in school? Spanish. At my high school, it was either French or Spanish, and I chose Spanish. But I didn't really care about it back then, and I didn't really put in a lot of good effort. Josh says, I feel your sorrow over Kamala Harris not picking you, Sammy, for V. I forgot that was the title of this video. You strike me as resilient, so you should survive her snub. Okay. Thank you, Josh. I appreciate that. Joe Rogan may increase RFK Jr.'s chances from 5 to 7%, but that's really it. Yeah, I agree with that. What's max live viewers on Allan's YouTube? I think our max is around 13,000. We've hit that like twice recently. Oh, my roommate drinks mate every single day, Susie. Like every single day. Have I been recognized in the street? No, I'm not even close. We're going to find you a lady for this guy. Come on, Latinas. I like Latinas. Have I tried yerba mate? I can't remember. Okay, so the poll is pretty interesting. So Spanish is way ahead, but then the other three are pretty close. Japanese is 19%, and then German and French are both 17%. Oh, this is hard. Who's gonna keep the YouTube 100K plaques? You or Allan? Me, dog. I built that YouTube channel. I mean, granted, he is the YouTube channel. Like, what's a good analogy? Like, he is the Statue of Liberty, but I'm France. I brought that shit to America. You know what I mean? I don't even think he knows that YouTube, you get a plaque. I get the feeling you prefer more exotic women from like Japan or Mexico. I really don't have a type, but I do like Japanese and Mexican women. I mean, will your dad ever run for public office? He already did, Maddie. And no, he will not ever again. He's too old now. I'm the Beatles manager Brian Epstein. Yeah, that's close. That's close. What's the next step for you? Start doing stand-up? I've already done stand-up. I enjoyed it, but I didn't love it because there was, especially starting out, there's a big push for you to like promote your own shows, and there's a lot of like promotion around it, and I'm just not about that life. Would I get off the couch and debate JD? Dude, I would wipe the floor with JD. Where do I get a membership? I'm subscribed but not a member. There should be a join button. I don't know what you guys see because I'm on my backside things, but there should be a join button. Maybe Kamala replaced Walz with you in 2020 when she found out you're old enough to run. That's a good point. She didn't pick me. She also can't pick me, which is fair, you know. Justin says, I missed it. Are we discussing what language you should learn in case Trump wins and you have to move out of the country? No, just generally what language I should learn. I look like JD but without a beard and more. I look like JD Vance? Come on. No, I don't. Come on. Allan should host a debate club between YouTube members and Sam and Allan as the moderators. That'd be fun. I think my dad, after the whole jank thing, is going to be very selective about who he debates. I don't think he wants to debate just random YouTubers. Justin says, you don't look like JD Vance. Perma-ban that person. Thank you. What's my favorite quote from The Big Lebowski? I'm not the biggest Big Lebowski fan. Congrats on the growth for Allan Lichtman's channel. What have you done to increase engagement? Creating YouTube shorts, creating standalone videos, creating memberships, creating a Discord, Reddit, Instagram, X. I mean, lots of stuff. You're still doing the podcast with Destiny? That's a good question. So I told them we figured out a date, and then I told them to email me and my dad to finalize it, and they didn't. So I don't know. Did I already make my presidential prediction? Yes. Kamala Harris is going to destroy Donald Trump. That's my prediction. All right, let's check out this poll. Well, French is in second place now. I don't know if this is helping me or because it's like everything. Like Spanish is way ahead the leader, but it's kind of the one. It's kind of the one that is the most practical, but also the one I'm least interested in. So like now I'm kind of like I kind of deciding between German, French, and Japanese, and French is winning. Maybe this is helping. I'm kind of leaning towards German or Japanese. All right, let me just do those two. I feel like these languages, German and Japanese, are so like well, German, there's like what, 3 countries that speak German. Japanese, there's literally 1 country. My mom speaks German, and I'm like 33% Germanic. So favorite non-English movie, man. I feel like I've shared this list a million times. I mean, I watch so many non-English movies, but here's a list of my favorite films. Actually, my first non-English, actually my the first 2 non-English films are both in French, so maybe that's a sign. That's a list of my favorite movies. Damn, Japanese is winning. Sorry, it's something stuck to my finger. All right, I gotta give my dog a walk. Thank you all for watching. Check out the video I posted. Again, I want to hear you guys' feedback. Thank you all for watching my dad's live. I might stream sometime this weekend, but if not, I'll definitely see you guys next week. Good night. Take care.